Hello everyone and welcome to the Good Game Lobby review of To a T, a narrative adventure game and the latest release by Uvula LLC, the studio co-founded by the game director Keita Takahashi of Katamari fame and Ryan Mohler. Katamari has been a huge part of my gaming life since its introduction into the world in 2004. Now with the new game bringing all the years of oddball games and cuteness together for To a T, let's talk about why I think it's the must-play game of the year.
Change PJ. I want to dry my face. I want to use a...
Before I get into the story, yes, you can pet the dog in this game. Okay, I'll do my best to keep this as spoiler-free as possible because where things begin for this game and where they end up is a great trip you should take with fresh eyes. The protagonist is so sweet and adorable and has a charming look. They're in a T-pose, limiting their movement and thus setting the premise for hijinks to ensue. If you're not aware, a T-pose is a default pose for a 3D skeleton when designing a game, and it's how it looks before it becomes animated. As a developer, this is something that you typically do not want to see in one of your games. But Keita, making the protagonist's whole identity a T-pose, often seen as a bug in a game, into a feature sums up his stance on creating fun games. You live with your mother and cute dog, who I named Prince. A little throwback to Katamari. The world around you is slightly adjusted to your arms not being able to bend. The sink shoots water up at you to easily clean your face. And your spoon is extremely long to better assist your breakfast binge of daily cereal. The main character has responsibilities of getting dressed for school, washing his face, eating breakfast, brushing his teeth, and getting his lunch all on his own. These are the family-friendly parts of the game that lead his everyday life. Fun fact, my son saw me playing the game in a part where I was brushing my teeth and he realized he didn't brush his teeth and he ran away to do so. It was adorable. The game plays out in episodes like a TV show, with an intro and outro and video. Early on when you get to school, you realize that the T-pose is charming to me as the one playing the game. It's only when he arrives at the school that insecurity starts to play out, with bullies mocking his T-pose and his anxieties playing out. The gameplay is simple enough, with most just being the ability to get ready for the day, to walk around with your dog, and jump on things to collect coins scattered throughout the town. Money I recommend collecting a lot of because the game has an astounding 500 plus clothing pieces you can collect. Speaking of which, you could even get the hat from Toem or the antenna from Katamari for your dog. These small touches are the best fan service and I love it. Aside from the daily tasks, you'll encounter new mini challenges at school, like mixing ingredients in science experiments or small mini games with Giraffe, who makes all the food around town, being the most complex of the game. Early in the first reveal, the trailer mentioned that it was in collaboration with Able Gamers. If you aren't familiar, here's Able Gamers' mission statement. Quote, steadfast in our mission to create opportunities that enable play for people with disabilities and improve their quality of life while prioritizing two core objectives. Enabling people with disabilities to access video games with ease and empowering game creators and developers to design games with maximum accessibility. I can't say exactly what they collaborated on because there's only one accessibility option I can find, and that's to toggle a button instead of using the right thumbstick in a circular motion to get him to fly. Yes, fly. Very early on in the first episode, we're introduced to one of the best mechanics, and that is the fact that you wind him up fast enough, you'll launch him into the air. Controlling it is something learned in a later episode. The game is pretty simple to handle, aside from maybe one or two mini games that give it a bit of a challenge, and that's probably where the accessibility kicks in. I would easily recommend this to kids and families of gamers. It's cute, easy to play, funny, and packed with a great art style. Speaking of which, let's get into the visuals of the game. You can already see the game is adorable, colorful, and looks downright beautiful. It runs great on decent settings with a few frame drops here and there, but the bokeh effect throughout it truly is one of the best looking games released this year. I mentioned the TV show episodes for each chapter of the game, and from this style of intro and outro and the episode's unique themes, it feels like you're watching a TV show. Like an anime came to life and now can be played. The design, from the characters, small town you explore, and UI of menus looks clean and fun. Pausing the game in certain settings will change the exact menus and how they look. One of the best features in the game is that you're offered 20 different ways to experience the visuals. From pixel to sepia to seasonal and more, you'll definitely find the right style for your experience. When talking about a Takahashi game, the soundtrack is very important. Right from the start, Katamari has lived on with me over the years in the songs. Now I play them when we're having dance parties at home with my wife and son, and this continued with Toem and is now prevalent in To a T. The opening theme song, Perfect Shape by Prep, is catchy and mesmerizing. It plays with each start of a new episode, further proving the TV show format. And like any TV show, you also have the ending theme song, which is Giraffe Song by none other than Rebecca Sugar of Steven Universe fame. Here's a song in the trailer. Let me know what you think in the comments.
My name is Giraffe. I went to a school so I could learn how to cook, because I love to eat and share food. Cooking is so amazing. I think it's really magical.
One of Takahashi's earlier games, Toem, has a soundtrack that is delightful in experience, and Sake Asuka is back once again arranging for Uvula. I was provided with a few songs I could share for review purposes, and one of them was titled Walking with the Dog. It was a true delight and gives good context for how the world sounds into a T. Check it out and let me know what you think in the comments. From the second I turned on the game until the ending and credits rolled, I had a smile on my face. Uvula have set the precedent for a studio made to put a smile on your face in the most odd way possible. I hate to keep going back to Katamari, and I'm sure he does too, but it's Keita's claim to fame, and rightfully so. Nobi Nobi Boy preceded Katamari and was fun, but was missing something in my eyes. Toem was a great experience filled to the brim with outlandish gameplay mechanics, a stellar cast, and one of the best soundtracks. Then we have Crankin's time travel adventure for the Playdate, where the colorful world is subtracted and we're left with a great design and silly premise. Speaking of Crankin, this is the only spoiler I will discuss. He's in the game, and you can buy things from his shop. Uvula LLC is continuing to feed the silly and often described by Takahashi as stupid ideas to life. And what he wanted to make this time was the most easily accessible game of his career. And I believe he's achieved this compared to his previous titles. All of the aforementioned titles he's released and worked on over the years, the composers creating unique and fun soundscapes, and all the development and artists all bring to a T to a clever place. Without making those games, we wouldn't be here playing one of the best games of the year. Another great way to describe the game was actually by Fire, the co-creator of Arco, who said on Blue Sky, "To a T is kind of like a video game version of City of Ghosts. I'm quite enjoying playing with my kid." City of Ghosts is a really great kid show that is a spot-on comparison to this game. And him playing it with his kid is another great thing to hear. That's exactly what I did with my son as well. 2T took me about 8 hours to play through the main game, where some outlets have shared it's roughly 5 to complete. I did spend a lot of time on my unicycle collecting coins, playing minigames, and buying merch. At $19.99, I think it's well worth the price point. I played it on Steam, but it's also available for Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the Epic Game Store. I just want to thank Papa Agenda and Annapurna Interactive for the key to the review of the game from Uvula LLC. Thank you for watching my review of 2OT. If you're looking for another family-friendly game, check out Spilled on your left. And if you want more reviews from this year, check out the playlist on your right. Thanks, and as always, GG.